Welcome back to the Couch Potato Show. This is episode 30, first episode of season 2 for the back again with the boys. Frank coming off a big season 1 dub. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty solid. Glad it's over. Took forever.
Eric, gotta come back with vengeance.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's get right into picks. First episode of season 1. So this week we got the College Game Day is heading to the ACC Championship game. We got Notre Dame and Clemson. We'll also be picking the Mountain West Conference Championship game, as we didn't pick the winner of that game earlier on in the season. And we'll also be picking the American Conference Championship between number 3 ranked Tulsa and number 9 ranked Cincinnati. All the other conference championship games that are this weekend, we have at least one of us, I think, have a team involved in the game. So Couch Potato Show is involved in every single conference championship game this weekend, which is always going to be exciting.
Always interesting.
Oh, yeah. Points on the line in every single game. But let's start off with College Game Day, ACC Championship game. The two of you guys both have Clemson, which you picked earlier on in the season. I obviously picked Miami, and they are not in the game, which is very unfortunate. Actually just got absolutely obliterated by North Carolina, so that's always a fun time. But let's get into it. Frank, who you got? Clemson and Notre Dame.
I'm going to stick with Clemson. Last time they played it was a really close game. It was a great game. I watched it. And they didn't have Trevor Lawrence, so I think they could easily win this game. I don't think it'll be as high scoring as it was last time. I think it was like 45-40 or something like that. I don't think it'll be nearly that big of a scoring game, but I think that Clemson could drag it out and probably be number 2 in the college football playoff standings if they do.
Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson as well. I think this game is going to be a blowout. I think the addition of Trevor Lawrence back to Clemson gives them the upper edge over a Notre Dame team that actually beat them earlier on in the season, like we said. I do want to see a big defensive change from Clemson, because let's face it, Trevor Lawrence wasn't the only reason they lost the game earlier this year against Notre Dame. That defense was atrocious.
Defense is terrible, yeah.
So if they want to have a chance at winning this game, being Ian Book, they got to really improve that defensive. Eric, who you got?
I'm going to make it a clean sweep, stick with Clemson. Statistically speaking, it might not be Trevor Lawrence's finest game, but I think this is going to be one of his defining performances when it matters. And I think he's going to prove that he'll waste his career after this, either with the Jets. Well, he's going to perform well. That's my point. He's going to land himself in the number 1 spot. But even if he doesn't, even if he screws up and freaking craps himself on the field, he'll end up number 2 overall. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, the point is, Trevor Lawrence is going to have a great game, and I'm going with Clemson.
Yeah, probably going to end up number 2 overall anyway, because the Jets will find a way to fuck that up. But, yeah. All right, let's go to the Mountain West.
I can hear it.
Yeah. Let's go to the Mountain West. We got Boise State taking on newly ranked number 24 San Jose State. Frank, we'll start with you. Who you got?
I'm going to take Boise. They're at home. They play really well at home. I think they're very underrated. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think San Jose State's ever won this matchup. So I have no reason to believe that they will change their ways now. So I'm going to go with Boise.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I'm gonna go San Jose State. This is a team that hasn't started off. They didn't start the year off really well, but since I think they got like 8 wins in a row or something. This team is pretty hot right now, coming off a few huge wins. So I think you're right. I don't think San Jose State's ever actually won this matchup, but the team they have this year is one of the best teams that they've ever had for the program. So I think they're finally going to take home that conference championship. Eric, who you got?
Yeah, I was looking over this matchup, just the players and other research, and I didn't look at the odds, but I'd have to imagine it's about even money. for both of these teams.
Yeah, they're pretty even.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But I'm going to give the slight edge to Boise State. I'm going to agree with Frank. Look for Andrew Van Buren to lead him on the ground. He has 56 rushing yards this season with 8 touchdowns. And then on the defensive side, Shane Irwin with a team high 6 sacks on the year. Those two guys are going to make the difference in this game.
Looking at the spread, Boise State is favored by 6.5.
Wow, that's honestly
Surprising.
larger than I anticipated.
Yeah. So, money line is at 250. So
what? Minus 250?
Minus 250
That's high
for Boise.
It's really high.
Yeah, I would take that bet honestly.
Oh my goodness.
In favor of San Jose.
Yeah.
What's San Jose? Plus what?
198.
I would take the spread though.
All right.
Minus 6.5. I don't think they cover that spread.
Yeah. I totally agree. And obviously Mainz agrees.
Yeah.
If I were old enough to gamble.
Yeah, Boise State's 14-0 all time against San Jose State.
Okay.
But much better team in the past. So.
Yeah, the course is current events, not ancient history. This team's good. It's a good.
No, they're really good. I don't know if they win on the road though. That's the thing.
We'll see.
It's tough to play at Boise State.
It is.
It is. Let's head into the American Conference Championship game. Number 23 ranked Tulsa. They've been around that the early 20s, like 20 to 25 ranking pretty much all year. And if not, they've been just outside the top 25. And then Cincinnati, who, and we'll get into this in a minute, dropped to number 9 in the rankings this week. Frank, who do you have? Tulsa versus Cincinnati?
I want to take Tulsa because of Cincinnati's like incredibly long layoff, but I think they're just underrated. I really like their team. So I'm going to stick with Cincinnati. I'm probably going to regret it when Tulsa wins the game, but I like Cincinnati's team.
Yeah, I really like Cincinnati's team. The way they've played defense this year is they're one of the top teams in the country in terms of that. Obviously, they don't have the schedule that other teams in that top 10 have, but they've played really good football this year. So I'm going to take them over Tulsa. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Cincinnati is gonna pull it out.
Well, because Cincinnati hasn't played in like almost a month, right?
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a little rust there in the beginning.
That's why I wanted to pick Tulsa, but I was like, I just like Cincinnati's team better. So.
Yeah. Eric, who you got?
Yeah, whenever I go into a game, I think it could even be subconsciously, but I always think, is this one going to come down to Team A's offense or defense or Team B's offense or defense? One of those 4 units. Sometimes it's special teams, but I digress. And I think this is really going to come down to how Cincinnati's defense can play after, as Frank referenced, that long layoff. And I'm with you guys. I think their defense puts up a hell of a performance versus Tulsa, and I think it'll lead to Cincinnati getting the W.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second because the college football rankings came out. We're filming this Wednesday morning, so they came out last night. And let me pull it up real quick because there are some
questionable,
abysmal rankings that we have.
I mean, Tyler went more harsh. I went questionable.
Absolutely disgusting. The top 5 stayed the same. We got number 1 Alabama, number 2 Notre Dame, number 3 Clemson. Ohio State's still sitting at 4. What do you guys think about Ohio State still at 4 despite have only playing? They played 5 games, which is half of what the top 3 have played. It's half of what Iowa State, Florida, all those teams have played. So what do you guys think of them still being at 4, despite playing 5 games?
I get it. I get the appeal. I see what's going on here. But would it kill them to be like, well, I think we've used the expression on the show before, but you can't win the girl if you don't show up to the dance. And they barely showed up. And it's not even, maybe it is a knock on them. I don't know, COVID protocol specifically, whatever. But I don't know. Why not just have another team who's played more games substitute? Would it kill them to miss a playoff?
Yeah.
I get it, but just doesn't seem fair. And it just seems like they can make more money this way, which that's sort of the theme of football, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I get the whole not playing games thing, but so far they haven't given you a reason not to put them in the top 4 besides not playing enough games. So if they were to play 10 games, I guarantee you they'd still be at number 4. They'd even maybe number 3 because they're a really good team. But the lack of good competition in the Big Ten and in combination with the overall lack of games in general kind of gives them a bad rap. I agree with Eric where you could probably put Texas A&M ahead of them. But again, if Texas A&M was in the SEC championship game, then they have a shot. But again, there's no team that would threaten to overtake them, especially because Florida just lost to LSU last night. So even if Florida beats Alabama, you could still see them putting maybe Ohio State still in there because of the game last night or 2 nights ago, whenever it was. So again, there's no reason not to put them in there. I think they could put Texas A&M in there, but there's no reason not to, So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one because the eye test, you watched them play last year, and they earned that top 4 ranking in the country last year. I think they were 3 after they played, because they played Clemson in the semifinals. So they were 3.
Yeah, it was LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, and I'm forgetting Oklahoma maybe. I don't remember.
But
wasn't Jalen Hurts with them? Didn't they make the playoff?
I can't remember. But yeah, Ohio State, they passed the eye test. They have the players that are clearly they're in that upper echelon with Alabama and Clemson. Those top 3 pretty much own college football. And then there's a big drop off in talent after that. But I don't see how you can put them in the top 4 if they've only played 5 games. I get it that they do pass the eye test, but I think I said this last week. They're going in there like twice as fresh as they're going to the semifinal, twice as fresh as an Alabama team that's played 11 games at the point of when they get to the semifinal. A Notre Dame.
You could also argue the opposite though, where they're not enough games haven't given them enough time to tune things out. So there's 2 sides to it.
I disagree. Because Ohio State they've had the time to do it. When you tune things out, that I think it's like 80% of that is practice. So when you have this much time to practice, I know they're not playing games, but when you have this much time to practice, especially in college football, when you're not playing top tier teams every single week, like Alabama just played Arkansas. I guarantee you that if they were to go full force in practice, the Alabama offense would struggle more in practice than they would against the Arkansas defense. And that's just how it is. So I think the Ohio State practices have been a good test for them they have maybe strengthened themselves a little bit, but it's just hard for me to see a 5-game Ohio State, 6 after you count the Big Ten championship game. But I think a team like Texas A&M should be in there for playing. I think they played 9 games.
They're at 8 right now.
So, yeah, and their only loss was to Alabama. So
I do see what you're saying, but their play haven't given you a reason not to put them in. The only reason not to put them in is because the game's played, which again I don't hold. They
haven't blown teams out. They almost lost to Indiana.
Indiana's a decently good team. They're ranked 11th.
Here's what I'm saying. The Ohio State has played 5 games. 4 of those 5 games are against teams that currently only have 2 wins. I forget who it is, but those 4 teams only have 2 wins. Indiana's, I think, 6-1 right now, and that they struggled against Indiana. So listen. I don't know. We've seen the LSU. The LSU dropped off this year a ton. Oregon dropped off this year a ton. Michigan dropped off. Penn State. All these big time teams haven't really performed well. I think if Ohio State played the 10 or 11 games that Alabama or Notre Dame or Clemson has played, I don't think they're sitting there undefeated. I think they might have 1 or 2 losses.
Yeah, we could say all this, and then they get into the college football playoff, and they play, let's say, Alabama, and they either get destroyed, which would mean we were right, or they play a good game, which would mean that they were right to put them in.
All right, I'm gonna go down the rankings a little more because there's a lot more that we can talk about. Five is still Texas A&M. That hasn't changed. I think they deserve to be number 5 with quality wins over Florida and Georgia. Only loss being to Alabama, so definitely deserving in the number 5. Number 6 is Iowa State. Now, Iowa State has played very well. And I'm going to go down a little bit more so I can explain why I don't think Iowa State should be number 6. 7, we have Florida. They only dropped 1 spot after losing to an unranked LSU. That team is
bad
terrible.
LSU team. A bad LSU team.
Now, a lot of people were saying that Florida shouldn't have only dropped 1 spot. Here's the deal. They lost that game because of a dumb mistake. Some idiot threw a shoe, caused an unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's the reason they lost the game. That didn't happen, they win the game. So the reasoning why they put them, it's not like they lost because of the play. The play, based on the play, they won. If they didn't,
but when you base it off the play, they were still LSU was still in that game. It's not like they were. It wasn't because LSU is unranked. They're not a good team. So the fact that they were even in the game in the first place could warrant a further drop to them.
But you can't drop a team. You can, but you can't. The College Football Playoff Committee doesn't really drop teams that lose close games against unranked teams. As long as you win, you shouldn't drop in the rankings. So
that's where I disagree with how they rank. But
well, that's just what they do.
Yeah, I'm not it is what it is.
So number 8 is Georgia. They've gotten a lot better with the addition of JT Daniels on the team. A 2-loss team. Arguably, I mean, you got Cincinnati sitting there at number 9, still 8-0. They actually dropped after not playing for a couple of weeks, like we said. This is a team where I think they deserve the number 6 spot over an Iowa State team. Just because
they're really good. I wouldn't. They're definitely higher than 9. I don't know about 6, but
they have no reason to not be 6. That's just. I mean,
they haven't. It's the same thing with Ohio State. They haven't lost, so they haven't given you a reason not to put them that
high. Oklahoma's 10, Indiana 11, Coastal Carolina still 11-0.
Oklahoma, I'm surprised is this high because they lost a couple of really bad games in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but it looks like they have found it here closer to the end of the season. USC 13. Chance to win the Pac-12.
I saw that USC has a better shot to make the college football playoff than Ohio State does, percentage-wise.
I think that was a typo.
Was it? Because ESPN released it, and I saw it all over the place.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I'm 90% sure that was a typo.
Okay, because I hope it was, because I was just what the hell is this? It's USC had a 50% shot or something.
Yeah, that's not true. Northwestern 14, North Carolina 15 with 3 losses, highest 3-loss team in the rankings. I definitely agree with that. BYU drops to, actually they move up to 17, 10-1. Miami at 18 after losing to North Carolina big time. They dropped 8 rankings.
Makes sense. They got killed.
From 10. Yeah. And then Eric's Raging Cajuns sitting there at 9-1, ranked 19.
Unbelievable. Justice for the Cajuns.
Yeah. And that's about it. We got Texas, Oklahoma State, NC State, Tulsa, San Jose State, and Colorado.
Over who was there last week? I forget.
Missouri was ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. But
not a great list. Like we say with every ranking like this, it's like the AP poll, this college football ranking. They're usually pretty bad, but it's what it is.
so this Saturday, we got a bunch of conference championship games. So ACC championship between Notre Dame and Clemson, obviously the star-studded one with number 2 Notre Dame, number 3 Clemson. If Notre Dame wins that game and Clemson drops to 9-2, would you guys keep Clemson in that top 4?
Are we assuming that Ohio State wins their game?
Yeah, we'll assume Ohio State wins.
Then I think you can put Clemson at 4 and put Ohio State at 3. Not to say Ohio State doesn't really deserve it, but again, if they win on Saturday, no reason not to put them in.
You're saying if Clemson loses to Notre Dame?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would lower Clemson. I think they would go to 4, but I don't think I'd have Ohio in the top 4 right now. So that's a separate conversation I guess we already had. But, Frank made some good points, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they'd fall out of the top 4, but I think they'd fall to 4, definitely.
I think they definitely fall to 4. But
more than a one-possession game, surely they would fall to 4 at the very best, in my opinion.
And if they get blown out, they might be out of the top 4.
Yeah, especially with your guy Trevor in there. That would not look
good.
good.
Especially with Trevor playing, I think they're
not look good.
Yeah.
The question is, who would you? I guess you put Texas A&M in, but say Florida beats Alabama, then what happens then? Where do you put Florida?
I think if Florida beats Alabama, I think they're still out. I think Florida ruined their chances. Personally, I think Florida ruined their chances. Now, the College Football Playoff Committee obviously thinks differently because they still have them at 7.
Yeah, so they still have a shot. I think they beat Alabama, they'd be better than Iowa State because Iowa State shouldn't be there anyway.
Yeah, I think
Texas A&M wasn't in the SEC championship game, so I think they would rank them ahead of them as well.
I think a Florida team that wins on Saturday. It's tough.
I don't think they will win. But...
I don't think they will, but let's say they do. They do. I think the only way for Florida, I think if Notre Dame beats Clemson, that's still tough though, because then you have a 2-loss Clemson team and a 2-loss Florida team. And I think you still rank Clemson over Florida because Clemson's 2 losses came to the same Notre Dame team.
You're currently number 2 ranked, so it's tough, man. I mean, if Clemson loses, it would probably be Alabama, Notre Dame. You'd have to put Ohio State 3. You have no other option because they're 4 right now and they haven't lost. So you'd have to put them 3 and then Clemson 4.
I think as long as Ohio State wins.
Yeah, if Ohio State wins on Saturday, you have to put them in.
I think what I'm saying, I think if Ohio State wins, I think then the top 4 that we have they're going to stay.
Yeah.
Whatever order you want to put them in after the ACC championship game, I think if Ohio State wins, they'll make it. Alabama's already pretty much clinched.
Even if Alabama loses, the lowest they can go, I say, would be 3.
Yeah. And then I think Notre Dame and Clemson are in their spots.
Yeah.
Let's get into a different topic. Yesterday, Giannis signed a huge deal with the Bucks, the Supermax contract. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 5 for $225.
$228, I think it could.
$228, I think.
$228. Yeah, just about. Frank, you put this on the discussion list. What did you want to talk about?
I think it was the wrong move for him to sign this early. I do agree with him staying with the Bucks because that's the team that can give him the most money. It'd be nice. It's nice to see a small market team actually retain a star. But I've seen a lot of people, other people say this, but I agree with them. where if he didn't sign until I think next offseason as his contract is up. So if he didn't sign until then, it would give the Bucks more. What do I want to say? What's the word I'm looking for? Incentive, I guess you could say, incentive to sign and get better players, because that's exactly why they got Drew Holiday, because they didn't know if Giannis would re-sign with them. Now that they have Giannis again, they can just hold still at Drew Holiday and who else did they get? I forget. But now that they don't have that incentive, I don't think they get better in case they don't win this year, which I don't think they will win this year. So they don't have any reason to get better and better if Giannis is already there. That makes sense.
Yeah. Eric.
Yeah, I think it's tough because you can't really label it as a player being like, I need a championship. I need a championship. Like, he could have pulled a KD and just gone to a powerhouse and said, all right. Or like if he signs with the Lakers or something, I have no idea, but you know what I'm saying. So he could have tried doing something like that. He could have just like going to the Heat, you know? That was a thing. I don't know though. This is a nice middle ground. I'm usually a fan of players staying with their original teams.
I'm a big fan of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
feel
evens
like
the league so much more.
Yeah, exactly. Because at that point, we're just rooting for laundry if we just keep shuffling.
Yeah, you're rooting for like the same 5 teams every year, so those are the teams that sign anybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. That's just not fun. Yeah, I have a funny feeling. This is probably a hot take, but I have a funny feeling that the Bucks are gonna waste Giannis's best years. I get it. They were great. I get it. He's coming off back-to-back MVPs. I understand that. I think they are medium-sized sharks in a large shark tank right now.
Yeah,
Bucks.
you could put probably 4 teams ahead of them right now. Lakers, Clippers, Nets. I guess you could put them 4.
Hey, listen, yeah, at the very least, 3 teams. That is not easy to leapfrog. Yeah. You can't just leapfrog 3 teams. I don't know. They've got a shot, that's for sure. But
yeah, like I picked them to make the finals, but I don't think they're gonna.
Very entirely possible to make the finals. But the fact that 2 out of 3 of us didn't even pick them to make the finals, to me, tells me something. And I think you had them losing in the finals, right, Frank?
I did. I had them losing to the Lakers in the finals.
We're a bunch of schmucks, so it doesn't really matter. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Again, I like the moves they made with Drew Holiday and a couple other guys they get that I forget their names, whatever.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But you know, they're just not there. They're not on that tier. They're a great team. They're a good regular season team, but I feel like that teams have figured the Bucks out and how to beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's very visible. Like the Heat did it. The Heat literally won just doing the wall on Giannis where he can't do anything. Yeah. And that's their entire team because they didn't get anybody else because they thought that all they needed was Giannis.
So at this point, does it look better on Giannis for that star free agent to eventually come to the Bucks? Because isn't that the same thing as him just going to whatever team with pulling a KD? Isn't that the same thing? Would he get criticized more if he bailed on the Bucks to go to that star team as opposed
100%.
to
oh yeah,
so much more criticism?
It's the same thing.
Same thing that happened to KD.
Yeah.
KD couldn't win a championship in OKC. It was known. It wouldn't happen. I mean, they made the finals one year, but they got smoked by the Heat, who were much better than them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to work in OKC. They all knew it, so KD left, and he got much more criticism than he would have gotten staying in OKC and just losing. And now everybody says that his rings are illegitimate. They're not illegitimate. Were they easier to win? Sure. Yeah. But I think the same thing would have happened to Giannis if he says, I don't go to the Heat, and they got Giannis, Bam, Tyler Hero, and all those guys, and Jimmy Butler. I didn't even mention Jimmy Butler. So I think it would have been the same thing there, where they would have said, "Oh, Giannis can't win without stars." So it's a lose-lose. Like you can't really. They're going to criticize you no matter what.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
The Cleveland Indians, as we will still call them for the next year, have announced that they're changing their name. Haven't announced what they're changing it to. But they have made it clear that they will not be following in Washington football team's footsteps in calling their team the baseball team. So what do you guys think of the move? Is it about time that Cleveland announced this, Eric?
I don't know. Because on one hand, I think in the world we live in, you need to adapt. This goes for personal, this goes for individuals, this goes for units, this goes for business. So I do think you need to adapt to the times. I think it's important to be inclusive. I do. And you shouldn't, no one should be, this shouldn't even be a thought in anyone's head. Like, oh, wow, this name, I don't like that. And, there are two sides to that coin, obviously, but I get where someone would be coming from if they're being offended by the name. I get it, but I don't know. I guess it's the right move to change it, but I'm confused why a name like the Vikings is okay. People who did very bad stuff, pillaged nations, did unspeakable acts towards people. Maybe it's because there's no longer like Nordic people, or at least they don't care as much. I don't know. It is a sticky topic. It's whatever makes everybody happy. That's fine by me. And it's not that big of a deal. It's a name. It's to some people I'm sure it's a big deal, but I don't really care. If you told me tomorrow the Yankees are going to be the Honey Badgers, I'd be like, right. Yeah, see, I don't care. I do not care.
Wouldn't like that, but
they could be the Frank Petterinis are beautiful, and I'd root for them.
It's true.
At least it's accurate.
I do agree that it was time to change the name. I get like the argument where it's the history of the team. It's the same thing with the Washington football team. I think it was the right time to change it, though. It's been long enough where groups like I don't know specific groups, but groups have been calling for this for years, and they protested every spring training I see, and it's just time to change it. We live in a different world than when the team was made. I think it was made in like, I don't know, the 40s maybe. They were in the World Series in 1948. I know that at least.
I think it was 1890.
Yeah, so like the earliest
over 100 or like 19 something, early 19 something, like over 100 years of history.
Yeah. So I get the history part, but I think we live in a different world now. I think it's time to move on, which they did. And I think that we're going to see the same thing with teams like the Blackhawks, and there's a couple others that have a kind of the Chiefs. I don't know about the Chiefs. Maybe
I've heard.
I think we're going to see the same thing with them. So.
But yeah, I think isn't there a clear difference between the Chiefs and a team like the formerly labeled Redskins?
Yeah, I think the team when it's kind of just out there and blatant, like the Redskins, like that's something that's got to go.
Absolutely.
Indians, I think it was a good move to get rid of Chief Wahoo, that logo.
That was definitely the right.
That was a good move, just to get rid of the image that's there. I don't know if Cleveland actually had to go to lengths of just getting rid of the Indians name altogether. I think getting rid of the mascot was good enough. But I'm not anybody getting offended by a team name currently, so that's not for me to speak about. But
yeah, again, we're not the group that's like affected by this.
Yeah. So but I do think a team name like I think Blackhawks might be going sometime in the near future, but I think a team like the Chiefs, the Braves, I think those teams.
I think the Braves are fine. I
think those might stay. Now we might see the Chiefs. I think if we're going to see anything, I think the Chiefs might ban like headdresses in the games. I think they might keep fans from doing that, because that is along the lines of a cultural thing. I don't know if I think the Braves might. I don't know if anybody shows up.
They might do away with the chop
dresses, but the chop, they might get rid of the chop. That's Kansas City and Atlanta too. I think, because here's where it gets dicey. I don't know if a college team, a college like Florida State, will get rid of a Seminole.
I don't think it's the same realm. I think it's different.
Yeah, it's a lot different changing a college team, but
once again, fly above our pay grade.
Yeah, we don't really.
I don't know.
It's a dicey topic,
Once again,
we're not experts.
Don't isolate anyone. Make everyone feel comfortable. It's very simple to just name a team the Lions. Like that's fine. Just
I think we are going to see a domino effect start to happen. I think it started with Washington, and then that was the extreme. And then I think they're going to go. I think Cleveland's now changing their name. I think the name the Indians was next on the list to go.
Me too.
I think that the next tier would be a Seminole or a Brave or Chief, anything along those lines. Something that I personally would be fine with. I wasn't 100% fine with the name the Indians, and obviously not the Redskins, but Chiefs, Braves, Seminoles is a little bit better. But we'll see. I don't think those teams are 100% out of the water in terms of not experiencing a team name change.
Again, it's whatever makes everyone included. Like Eric said, it's above our pay grade. We're idiots. Let's be honest. So it's whatever makes everyone comfortable. Because that's just how it should be. So whatever they want to do, I'm cool with anything. If they want to change names, then change names. They're not good names, especially with Washington, especially with Cleveland now. I think Blackhawks are next and teams like that. It wasn't good. It just wasn't a good image. So I do agree with changing names.
And to play devil's advocate, the other side of it, I don't want the name changed, man. Why? Like, I just want to hear why.
Like,
who really cares?
It's just because you spent money on the merchandise and you just don't want to waste your money. Like, just get over it.
Come on.
I think that you buying material things is way less important than the points that are for.
Ridiculous.
Let's move on. Frank, I know you put Steelers.
We could talk about the Steelers. I don't know. I just want to put some NFL in there.
I think we can move on to that next week because I think we do have a lot of football to talk about next week with the huge weekend in both college and the NFL that we have. So we'll get to that next week. But this week, back after almost a month, we have last one standing.
Oh boy.
So the new glasses made me a little bit more intelligent.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
I get my glasses. Oh, they're so fun.
This is probably. Now we're only going one game today.
Okay.
I need a pen.
Set up for this serious business.
We're only going one game because I don't have enough questions. Eric, you are at 6 wins and no losses. So, Frank, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay.
Audio weird? Is that everybody's audio? It's just mine.
Yeah, I hear that too. Jesus Christ. Like mute yourself or something. I don't know.
Still happening?
Whose computer is that? No, I think you're good now.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
No, you're good now.
Marvelous.
Okay. Okay, so just to recap the rules, I will ask a question to Eric. If he gets it right, then I will ask a equally as hard question to Frank. And if he gets it right, then you guys tie for the round. We're going. Let's go 7 rounds today.
7 rounds today.
7.
Going one game. Fair.
We're going the distance, being that we're only playing one game today. Eric is going first, so if I ask Eric a question and he gets it wrong, Frank has the option of stealing that question, or he can,
or I can get a new question,
or you can get a new question. It's up to him. Now, Eric, I'm sorry. The advantage of going first is not happening today.
Oh boy, that's okay. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, I will be picking the difficulty of question.
That's fine.
Just because I don't have enough questions to go all around the place. So
yeah, don't worry about it.
We will start. I'll start off easy, and as we get into the game, we'll get harder.
Let's do it.
All right, Eric. Question number 1. The Super Bowl trophy is named after what legendary NFL coach?
Lombardi, or who is Lombardi, if you will.
Nice.
Thanks, Frank.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Beautifully done.
Love you, Vince, if you're watching.
Sure he is.
Yeah.
I'll
All right,
back this one.
Frankie Frank. Still looking for first last one standing win.
So bad, dude.
Frank. In left field of Fenway Park, there's a giant wall. What is the wall called?
The Green Monster.
That is correct. Beautifully done.
I believe it's the 195-foot monster. I think that's it.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm wrong.
No. Did you ever hear that story of the reporter? Sorry to go off topic, but did you ever hear that story of the reporter who was counting? He was like, he stood at home plate and he was like going step by step all the way to the Green Monster because he was like, wow, that looks a little short. And then someone stopped him as he was doing that, as he was measuring it. Someone was like, don't do that. Don't count.
Oh, yeah, because it's like stupidly shallow.
Yeah, because they effed up
stupid shallow.
So they overcompensated and made it like this big gimmick thing that they're making millions off of. Like, wow, what a world.
Yeah, every ball that's hit the left field usually goes off the Green Monster.
Yeah, so stupid.
It's a double.
So stupid. All right, but yeah, anyways.
Okay, question number 2. Eric.
Yes.
On March 16th, 2018, the sports world was left speechless when number 1 ranked Virginia fell to number 16 seed in the first round of March Madness.
Eric has no idea about this question.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the 16 seed?
Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen, but we can think for a second.
Take your time.
Thanks, Frank.
No problem.
Number 1 ranked Virginia. Upset.
I even hear the call in my head.
By 16 ranked who?
I wish I could.
Well, I follow college basketball way more than you do, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. The Lord knows that.
This is ranked. This is in the easy category, but
oh god.
Yeah. I don't even have a guess. I'll go with my. Here, wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm too lazy to pull out the sweatshirt. I'm gonna go with Montclair State University. Tyler.
Yeah, that is not correct.
Thought I had it.
Frank, would you like to steal?
You don't want to steal that one.
I'd love to steal. The answer is a UMBC.
Yes, that is correct. University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
That's one of those, either you know it or you have no idea.
Oh, yeah. Can't fake that.
Yeah.
Go Retrievers. All right.
Won by 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do I even know the final score? 76-56. Let's Google it. I think that was the final score.
Eric.
Yes.
Super Bowl 51 in Houston, Texas.
Oh, I was so close.
Saw Tom Brady lead a massive comeback against the Falcons to win his 5th of 6 Super Bowls in his career.
Mm-hmm.
What was the score when Tom Brady became the GOAT and led the Patriots to Disney World? So what was the turning point score that everybody...
Wait, so I'm just clarifying the question. Like the score that everybody knows or the score or the final?
The score that everybody knows. The score where Tom Brady... Well, what was the score when Tom Brady was like, we are not losing this game, and then he went on a roll to win the game?
Give me a second here.
I can steal more than one question, correct?
Yeah. That's not
Each of you also get a hint.
Okay. I did forget about the hint. So.
This is one I should get. I'm not
you
mad.
Should get, you should, if I know this, Eric, you should definitely know.
I know. 28, 2, 3.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct. Well done.
Thank you.
Frank.
Yes.
The NHL's 32nd franchise.
Oh, okay.
Will take the ice as an expansion team in 2021.
Oh, shit.
Team from Seattle will be called the what?
Oh, I remember it was like a sea creature that we wanted to be called Kraken because of Gary Sanchez. Oh, fucking hell. I thought you were going to ask about the Knights. I know the Golden Knights.
No, they would be 31.
Yeah, well, you know that now. What's it, Kraken? Oh, my God. Is it Kraken?
I don't know. I asked you the question.
I was rhetorical, Tyler. I wasn't actually asking you. I'm going to go with Kraken.
That is correct.
Yeah, you bastard.
I only remember because
I
of
got
Gary.
really excited for a second when you were like, "Oh, it wasn't the Kraken."
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was like, that's in his head. If he doesn't get this, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's already in the front of my head, so like I have to get it, I didn't remember if we like changed it from Kraken to something else or like we wanted Kraken and it was actually Kraken.
Yeah.
I knew Kraken was in there somewhere. Somewhere in that equation.
Props to you. You're not even a hockey guy. Well done.
I haven't watched a second of hockey maybe, I don't know, 10 years.
All right, Eric.
Let's do it.
Kyle Busch
Oh God.
has been in the NASCAR Cup Series for 16 years. With his win at Texas in October of 2020, so this recent win that he had, Kyle Busch has now won a Cup Series race for how many straight years?
I'm sorry, repeat the entire question.
Kyle Busch has been in the NASCAR Cup Series for 16 years.
Okay.
With this recent win at Texas, he has won a Cup Series race in how many consecutive years?
I'm going to say 16.
That is correct. Well done.
I would have guessed because I had no idea.
You don't study. You take the test. It's all about testing.
Dude, I do that all the time. I always finesse. And like it's not a test, but it's all
Frank.
Ready, prepared.
The 2020 NASCAR season was suspended in March and wasn't resumed until the middle of May when the cars were brought to Darlington to race in the Real Heroes 400.
I do remember.
Who won that race?
Oh, fucking hell. It was whoever Eric picked. Because I think he won or did I win the first one? I might have won the first one. One of us two picked this race correctly, and I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Real Heroes 400 at Darlington.
What round are we on?
This is round 4.
This is 4, right?
You guys are both tied at 3, but if you get this question right, then you would.
Wait, how are we tied at 3? I still want to Eric's questions.
Oh, it's the bottom of the 4th, though.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the 4th.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, my bad.
You're good.
Okay. Thank you for putting that in baseball terms. No, I understand.
What's happening?
Fuck.
I need an answer.
I'm gonna use my hint. If it's Truex, I'm gonna be pissed.
Your hint is Eric correctly predicted the winner of this race.
So I gotta go with Harvick because that's who we usually pick in the game.
That is correct.
Okay. See, I knew one of us picked it right. I don't remember which one.
Okay. Moving to the championship rounds. This is where shit's about to go down. Eric.
Let's do it.
Eric, the Gator Bowl is one of college football's oldest bowl games. What city is the game located in? The Gator Bowl.
Jacksonville?
Is that your final answer?
Sure.
That is correct.
Fucking hell, dude. This kid guesses every other question.
Listen, the hands are up here. That's all that matters.
Listen, I saw the hand, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All
right, Frank.
It was one of the Florida cities. I don't know. I wouldn't know which one.
Frank. Frank, the 2009 Yankees.
Here we go.
Were the last team to bring home a World Series title for the Yankees.
Bastards.
What players made up the infield for that team? I need first base, second base, shortstop, third base, and catcher.
Okay. First base was Teixeira. Second base was Cano. Shortstop was Jeter. Third baseman was A-Rod. And the catcher was Posada.
Very good. Look at this. Flew right through it.
Dude, I'm a diehard for a reason.
That is correct.
No. Don't go, Eric. Stay with us. My God, we were so close.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, still here. Okay.
Eric, you good?
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Yes, you're good.
I don't know. You are fine.
Little choppy.
Top of the sixth. Frank is up 5-4.
Yeah.
Eric. Eric, that's not your question. That's Frank's question. Sorry. Eric, this year's NFL draft will be pretty stacked with quarterbacks such as Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, and Trey Lance.
Yes.
Where do each of those quarterbacks go to school?
There's no fucking chance.
That's tough.
I can name the list again.
That's tough.
Hold on.
But why don't you go one by one? So
you would
start
like
with
to
one
go
and
one
then
by
answer.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get this, but sure.
Trevor Lawrence,
He goes to Clemson.
Justin Fields.
Ohio? Yeah, maybe.
I need a school.
Ohio State, maybe.
Okay.
Kyle,
Because there's more than one Ohio.
Kyle Trask.
Oh, you know this one, Eric. Come on.
I should know. I don't think
Tyler
I do.
talks about him all
I
the
don't
time.
think I do. I know, dude. You're gonna get a W. Georgia?
Okay. Mac
No,
Jones.
Yeah, he goes to Georgia.
I'm not.
You're gonna find out.
Alabama.
And Trey Lance.
No fucking clue. Frank, do you know this?
I don't know Trey Lance. I knew all the other ones though.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Is
that's
that your
bad
final,
news.
Eric? Is that your final answer?
No. What's his name?
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
I thought you were gonna say Zach Wilson. I don't even know.
Florida.
For Trey Lance.
Yeah, no idea.
And Kyle Trask sticking with Georgia.
Surely.
That is incorrect. Frank, would you like to steal?
No, because I don't know where Trey Lance goes. I know Kyle Trask goes to Florida though.
Correct answer, Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, Justin Fields, Ohio State. Kyle Trask goes to Florida. Mac Jones goes to Alabama. And Trey Lance goes to North Dakota State.
Never would have gotten that.
Frank.
Yes. I can take a 2-question lead.
Frank, the Oklahoma City Thunder formerly had a trio that featured 3 future MVPs. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden.
I thought you were going to ask me who they were. I was just like, this is light.
Where did each one of those players go to college?
Kevin Durant went to Texas. Russ went to UCLA. And James Harden was the last one?
Yep.
James Harden went to
By
Arizona.
the recent photos, it looked like he went to Burger King.
No. I believe he went to Arizona State.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Well done,
That is
Henry.
correct.
I couldn't remember if it was Arizona or Arizona State.
Yeah.
Top of the 7th.
My hidden talent is NBA players'
Oh,
colleges, actually.
yeah.
I'm sure
So Frank,
you guys knew that.
you clinched it.
Frank has already clinched the dub. We will go to a 7th.
Finally. Holy hell.
Frank. Or sorry, Eric.
Yeah, you're good.
Eric, in season 1 of Pick'em.
Oh, we can do this now, or we can do flashback questions. Okay.
Well, this isn't really a flashback question. In season 1 of Pick'em, you picked Kevin Harvick more than any other driver to win NASCAR races.
I did, didn't I?
You picked him a whopping 10 times.
How many races did we pay? That's what I'm curious about.
I will have to go back and check, but it's a lot more than 10.
Yeah.
Eric, can you name 2 sponsors that Kevin Harvick drove?
We had this question on who we play for or whatever
2
we call it.
sponsors that Kevin Harvick repped this year.
He reps the number 4. That's
It's not
that's one of his sponsors.
That is not a sponsor. That is a
Really?
number.
That's just his number car.
Yeah, you guys think I'm serious?
That's not a sponsor.
Frank, do you think I'm serious? The number 4. You think number 4?
Eric, you're not the
pays him
smartest
money?
guy. I'm just gonna let you know. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, obviously. It's all up there.
Well,
Although
no,
we shit on
I-
me all last week.
I don't think that's a joke. I'm not the smartest guy. Probably top 3 in the world, but not the smartest.
Yeah, I mean, you did shit on me last week, so I think it's warranted.
I couldn't tell you any of them.
You can't tell them the one that's on the car. I can tell you one. I can't tell you a second one.
Steal the question, big shot.
No, I
Do
gotta
it.
get my own.
You
question.
want either
I don't know.
Frank, would you rather? Frank, okay, so
Oh,
Eric clearly didn't get this
Frank
right.
wants his
Eric,
own question.
Frank, would you like to steal or would you like a new question?
I'm gonna pass. I know Bush Beer's one. I don't know a second one.
Okay, so the correct answers were Bush Beer / Bush Light, Mobile One, Hunt Brothers Pizza, and Jimmy John's.
Never had Jimmy John's.
Okay, Frank.
Decent.
Yeah.
Frank, Chase
No.
Elliott won the NASCAR Cup Series championship this year when he won at Phoenix. Can you name 2 of Chase's primary sponsors that he ran this year?
All right. Napa's one. Second one. Napa and
Frank,
That's a good
say
thing.
the number 9.
the number 9. No, not number 9. Why am I taking this long? I already won. It's Advanced Auto Parts.
That would be Napa.
Oh, is it the same thing? Then Pizza Hut. I don't know.
Acceptable answers: Napa, Kelly Blue Book, Hooters, UniFirst,
Oh, Hooters. Damn
Mountain
it.
Dew.
I should have known Hooters, bro.
and Little Caesars.
Little wrong pizza place. Oh my god. All right.
Frank takes home
So
the
close.
dub.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing I didn't lose on that because I would have been ultra.
6-4.
Well done, Pederini. Look at that.
Frank was
Still in a massive hole.
first win for last one standing. It was a long time coming.
Here's where the
Listen,
Oh,
if we did name college basketball like where NBA players went to college, I'd definitely be there.
you definitely got the easier of the questions this time around.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
yeah. That
Eric's
is
Lombardi question was easy. His Falcons question was easy.
Frank, buddy.
What?
If you think my questions were easier than your questions, I think you might have.
What? How?
Yeah, the 2 people watching this, please, in the comments, whose questions were easier? Just let us know,
And
please.
don't put it in French.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, don't put it in French. Please be our first comment that wasn't in French. Next week we have a lot of.
French love us.
Oh yeah.
Big French guys.
Next week we have a lot to talk about football wise. A lot of division clinchers, a lot of points being awarded to the 3 of us. Conference championships. Football at the wazoo. Season 2, I'm actually editing in a scoreboard that we can put in the videos.
Oh wow. Improvements for season 2.
I love it.
Fancy. We got the name plates right here, and we got the scoreboard down here or there or somewhere that way. Somewhere. So stay tuned for next week. And for the boys, adios.